Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I am a wee bit excited because we have a little bit of newness from Victoria Beckham. She has recently launched the Color Wash. This is the Blush Water Tint and I picked it up in the shade Flush. So going to give you my thoughts on this new launch from Victoria Beckham. I did also pick up her new Satin Kajal liner in Terracotta, and I finally picked up the Victoria Beckham Vast Lash. So many of you told me you love this mascara, and they had a little set that came with the color wash and the mascara. It was called the Fresh Set, so I thought, let me pick that up. We'll play with that today, and then I just used a full face of Victoria Beckham today, some of my favorite makeup. So if you were interested in seeing how I created this look, giving you the skinny on the color wash as well as the other new products I picked up, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm a little bit excited because I have a few new goodies from Victoria Beckham, and I did pick up one of her color wash. She just launched this product. It was kind of giving me nostalgic memories of that tint, like when I first started wearing makeup. That is like what we would wear, so I had to pick that up. I ended up picking it up in the shade Flushed, so I thought that looked beautiful. I did finally pick up the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal in the new Terracotta shade, so we're going to be using that. And I actually purchased the Fresh Set because everybody told me that I am going to love her Vast Lash mascara because I have her other mascara, but it didn't really work for me. It was almost like too natural looking. I need a little bit of help there. So I bought this pair together, and then I thought since we were doing some fun Victoria Beckham makeup that I would just do a full face. Okay, pulled back my hair. Just thought we would do a full face of Victoria Beckham. I have been absolutely loving her Victoria Beckham, the Cell Rejuvenating primer, and I have been using it in the shade Golden, which I know is a little bit dark, but basically what I do is I put that on. It gives me just a really healthy kind of fake tan, and then I go in with the concealer, which I do love. So I just did 2 pumps here. And I love this stuff. I think it is so beautiful. So don't worry if it looks a little dark going on, because again, it is going to just blend in to my skin. It basically hydrates the skin. And yes, I already have SPF on my skin, so I probably should have shown you that anytime before I come on to film. The last step in my skincare is always going to be sunscreen. So I have that on, and it has probably melted into my skin for about 30 minutes. So I am just going to take a minute here and let this skincare primer do its little magic. And the sunscreen that I used today was from Clé de Peau. This is their UV Protective Cream 50 Plus. This is like such a luxe sunscreen. This is not an all mineral sunscreen. This is a mix of chemical and physical sunscreen, but it just has the most luxe little texture to it. I really like this one, especially before makeup. It just gives your skin like such a beautiful canvas. So that is what I had on my skin before starting, and then I just added on that golden primer. I'm hoping you can see it really is not that dark. Once it melts into the skin, it does give me just sort of a slight bronzy tint, like I'm kind of faking just a little bit of a tan. Then I go in with the concealer. I love this, and I'm in the shade L1. This is a pen one, and I use this as concealer and foundation. I love the texture of this concealer. It is nice and thin, but it's also very flexible. It kind of moves with the skin. Put a little on my forehead. And then I just buff that into the skin here. Okay, so we've got a nice little canvas upon which to play with the new Victoria Beckham. This is their color wash. They launched this recently with 3 different shades. I picked it up in the shade Flushed. All 3 of them looked beautiful, but of course Flushed was Victoria Beckham's favorite, so I decided to go with that. This is described as a vibrant Longwear water-based blush with a slow setting stain. Victoria says it feels like water because it is. We've packed this blush with mineral rich seawater and coconut fruit water to detoxify and give skin that fresh, energized glow that I'm always after. So guess what? I'm also after that glow, and this is $46. I did pick this up in the shade Flushed, which is a sheer blush red and Victoria's signature shade. They also have a coral shade that is a sheer warm coral, and then they have a vintage rose, which is a sheer berry mauve color. They all looked beautiful, but of course I wanted to go with the Flushed shade here. So it comes in a little dropper dispenser just like this, and they recommend putting a few drops on your hand just like that. And this is watery, and then it suggests using her buffer blush. Let me just kind of show you what it looks like when you kind of buff it out. It's just a sheer colorful little stain. And then let's go ahead and pop this on. Ooh, I love these kind of sheer blushes, especially in the summer months. Look how pretty that is. And it says it's a slow setting stain. It means that I've got a few minutes to kind of get it where I want. Okay, here is what Flushed looks like on the skin. I'm kind of loving it because it looks very natural, but it is going to create that stain and then stay in place all day long. This literally looks so natural on the skin. I love the fact that it is infused with that mineral rich sea water, and honestly these were super easy to apply, especially using a brush here. You could use your fingertips, but yes, they are watery, but it wasn't anything unmanageable. And I feel like it just sort of plumps up my skin. Again, I'm somebody who likes a glowy finish. If you don't love that kind of finish, then maybe this is not going to be the product for you. You could always powder down, but if you love the idea of a stain and a wash, I think you might love these. And personally, I'm just finding as I am aging that blush is one of those items that really kind of wakes up my complexion. It makes me look a little bit more youthful. Back in the day when I was younger, I often skipped blush. I just didn't care about it at all. And now I'm finding that that is like one of the key pieces of makeup that I find makes me feel like, again, like I got a little flush, but makes me look just a little bit more alive, a little bit more youthful. Okay, moving on to the new Satin Kajal. This one is in Terracotta, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be a good color for me or not, because it might have like a little bit of kind of a reddish brown undertone, but I pretty much love every single one of her Satin Kajal liners. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put on any eyeshadow yet. We're just going to use the Terracotta liner to see how it looks, and then I will go ahead and use one of her eye products on my eyes. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to come over here and we are going to put this Terracotta near my lash line. Ooh, maybe I do love it. I don't know if you could see that, but like just that little amount I put on, I felt like it made my eyes look green. I have hazel eyes, by the way. So, and don't worry, if I get a little natural transfer from the top to the bottom, I just use the sponge to kind of go ahead and blend out on the bottom. So the reason I love these Satin Kajal liners is because it gives you that sort of lived-in makeup look. Nothing too precise. And I think I might already be in love with the Terracotta because I feel like it is really making my eyes pop. Okay, I just kind of smudge that out again. I haven't put any eyeshadow on. Oftentimes I just use her liners and a couple of them, and then I will smudge them all over. And once these set, they set. So you have a little bit of time as well to play with these, but they are just the best creamy eyeliners ever. Okay, kind of loving that terracotta color. I'm glad I went ahead and picked it up. And then I pulled out one of her eyewear, and this one is in caramel. It's basically kind of a beautiful little bronzy color. I'm just going to add a little bit of that on the lid, and as you can see, it's going to be a little bit of a contrast because caramel's coming off as a bit more cool toned versus the terracotta, and I kind of like doing a little bit of warm and cool on my eyes. So I'm just going to come in with the eyewear and put that all over my mobile lid. I'm taking that up just a little bit up into that crease area. I can always add in a little bit of bronzer as well, but kind of a bronzy terracotta eye today. Okay, quick, easy eye using Victoria Beckham products, and then I am going to use her Vast Lash. Now again, I tried her original mascara and it wasn't bad, but it was just almost like too natural looking. I'm somebody who feels like I need to play up my eyes, otherwise they kind of fall back in my head, disappear. And then everybody told me that nope, you got to try the Vast Lash, that it's like 100 times better. And I kept on forgetting to order. So when they had the little fresh set along with the color wash, I ended up buying that together, and you get a discount when you do some of the bundle sets. So I'm going to use the Vast Lash here. And this definitely lengthens the lashes. So let's come over to the other side. Okay, you all were right. I really like this 100% better than the other mascara. I'm someone who also likes kind of a thicker kind of brush. I think that's what I didn't like about the other one, is the handle seems so thin that I couldn't really get in and kind of play up on my lashes a bit. So far, first impression, loving this Vast Lash, and this is supposed to not smudge or do any of that, add a lot of volume, which I think it totally did. Okay, sort of loving this simple summer look. Then I pulled out my bronzing brick. I have this in the shade 2, and I am going to kind of use this as finishing powder, a little bit of bronzer here. But what I'll do is I'm taking my Hourglass brush. I have not bought any of her brushes. You all let me know if you have bought them. They look beautiful. I just have not bought those yet, and I am just going to add on a little bronzer just first wherever I would put bronzer on. Bring that down the neck. And then I'll take whatever's sort of left on the brush and then just sort of put that as my sort of setting, giving myself just a little bit of a fake tan here. Okay, this is my kind of makeup day. I'm going to do a little lip combo here. I'm going to be using the Victoria Beckham Lip Definer. This one's in shade 2, along with my current favorite Posh Balm. This one's in Canelle, and I love it. It is an apricot tan color, so it's a little bit nudie, but it has enough oomph where it gives me some color. So I'm just going to come in and line my lips with that number 2. And then come in with Canelle and put that on top. Kind of goes with the little terracotta eyeliner look. Nice little nude shade, but again, it's got enough color that it's not going to wash me out. And then of course we have to end with fragrance of the day, and I'm going to be using Portofino. I love this one. It's perfect for summer as well. This is all about being in the Mediterranean. It smells so amazing. This is just such a beautiful citrusy, woody scent. It totally transports you to the Mediterranean. It almost seems to have like a little teeny salty bite to it, like it's coming off the ocean. The notes in here are Calabrian, bergamot, and black pepper in the top. In the middle, you have got amber and incense, and then in the base you've got vetiver and patchouli. That's so funny. I did not know that this has patchouli, but it has this real freshness to it, so this is definitely going to be more on the fresh patchouli side versus the earthy. Just a beautiful scent. Absolutely love this, and it kind of finishes off my look for the day. So a fun full face of Victoria Beckham. I have to say I really like this color wash. I think it is a beautiful product. It was easy to use. I like a little stain, and I also like the way that this is giving me a fresh little glow. Like I don't even feel like I need to put any highlighter on. I feel like it is giving me a glow, but I don't find it to be too dewy. I like the fact that you can build this up. It is a little bit watery, but it feels very refreshing on the skin, so perfect for the summer months. After trying this, I actually would buy another one of these in the other colors, so a little bit intrigued by these. Let me know what color you would like to see if I were to buy another one, but I could see myself using these because I like that sort of fresh little radiant glow on my more mature skin. And as I've said, blush has become an important staple for me in my routine. I was already a fan of the Satin Kajal eyeliners. I pretty much use these every single day. I absolutely love cinnamon, navy noir, I love copper, I love jeans. I think that one just came back in stock, so if it did, grab it. It's another one that's a kind of a softer navy liner. It's so beautiful, but I will say Terracotta might be a new favorite. I felt like it really made my hazel eyes pop, so I'm excited about that. I will continue to play with the Vast Lash, but so far have been impressed. First impressions. So thank you for the nudge to pick this up. And this is my final look using a full face of Victoria Beckham Beauty. I can't wait to see what she launches next. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with another one soon.